President Zuma have been chased out. And when you look at what point President Zuma became the enemy of white monopoly capital, is when he started talking about radical economic transformation, when he talked about land expropriation without compensation.
Oh, it is very interesting to see or to hear what Mngxitama has said, because I'm going to contextualize that. Mngxitama has said something very interesting, that why the Stellenbosch mafias and everything, and those people and other white people, why they hate Jacob Zuma. The words, in the very words of Mngxitama, right? I'm going to show you something that is I find it very problematic. Not in its, not the actual words or what he said, but hey, Buffett, I find it very weird and very interesting to see that we believe in Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa that is funded by the same people who hated Jacob Zuma for speaking the language of expropriation of land without compensation, right? One of the things that white people have said in this country is that they are uncertain. One of the uncertainties that they face is the fact that they don't know what will happen to their land, right? I forgot the video. If I had this video, I would have inserted it just after this, right? I forgot where I placed that video. So they said one of the uncertainties that, and I want you to understand today, why is it so important to get the land, right? You need to understand that, to say, man, the land is important, right? So why do white people want to hang on to the land, right? They don't want to give it back. They want to fight to the core. A president that is advocating for that is their enemy, right? So I want us to explore that. But before we explore all the things that Mngxitama said, look, I'm pleading with you guys to do the following. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free. To like the video, it is free. To comment in the comment section below, it is free of charge. To click the notification bell, it is free of charge. To share this video, it is free of charge. To watch this video until the end, it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads, it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the Super Thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel. And you know what I'm saying? We'll bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. Okay, so let's look at this. Julius Malema said something on SABC1. He's like, no, he will not work with people who are funded by the white capital monopoly. So, and why do you think the white capital monopoly hates Jacob Zuma? And I will tell you this. As per the words of Mngxitama, he said that it is because of the language that he keeps speaking. Let's get the land back to black people. That's not the language that they are looking for. They want to make sure that the land is secured. They want to make sure that nobody disturbs them. They want to reap all the benefit, and they want to keep black people working for them, and that it pleases them. But before we get into what Malema said, let's listen to what Mngxitama has got to say.
President Zuma have been chased out, and when you look at what point President Zuma became the enemy of white monopoly capital, is when he started talking about radical economic transformation, when he talked about land expropriation without compensation, when he sponsored that mining charter, which gave black people 30% of ownership. Yes, that's Msebenzi Zwane. And I asked people to go read that mining charter, because such a progressive document said over 50% of mining housing boards must reflect the black majority, must reflect women, youth, and disabled people. It was a very progressive move which threatened the interests of white capital. And that's why there was that sponsored Zuma Must Go campaign. And today, we have load shedding. Zuma had stopped load shedding. People forget this. Under Zuma, with the late Dr. Ngubani and brother Machela Koko and Brian Molefe, these three had managed to turn Eskom around. And Eskom was realizing a profit, and load shedding was something of the past. That is the work of President Zuma. But it has all been reversed. Because you see, white capital spends that 1 billion rand to give Ramaphosa to buy the ANC conference so that its interests can be served. Now we have load shedding. That is part of an agenda to justify privatization, just like they sold SAA with, of course, Pravin Gordhan being a real henchman of this agenda of saving white capital. South Africa today, the ANC rules in the interest of white minority interests, not for the black majority. That is why we need this big political change, which again will bring back the black agenda.
Now that you understand what Andile Mngxitama has got to say, I want us to explore something here. The land is important, as Julius Malema kept emphasizing as well. The land is important because, like I once said this, when you own the land, say for instance you've got a farm, it doesn't matter the size of the farm in terms of what I'm about to say. You have children that look, you want to take them to school, you want to pay for them, but you don't have money, right? This is what you will do. You go to the bank and say, listen, I need a loan. And they say, but maybe your payslip is not good, and you say, no, but I've got a land. Because you've got a land, it means you have a biggest assets that can be used for one, farming, or it can also be used for, you can build a structure on that thing. So do you understand the importance of that? Do you understand that in South Africa, most of the apartment, they have to do with banks? You know, you find, I've seen a very huge development somewhere around between Sentin and Centurion. It was done by Nedbank, right? So, do you remember that? Do you remember the study that shows that a good chunk of the land is under banks? So you understand the importance of land. So a bank, when they see a person with a land and you are borrowing money, they are quick to give you to them. They are quick to give you the money. Why? Because they know if you don't pay it, they'll get the land, and they are interested in the land because they can do anything in the land. Okay, speaking about this, I want you to listen to what Malema said.
That are going on.
Well, it's the Oppenheimers. When you talk land, you are a direct threat to the Oppenheimer family. So those who are saying the EFF is enemy number one, those who are saying we can't work with the EFF, go and look at their financials and who gave them millions just in the previous term. You will realize that these are the parties that are financed by Oppenheimers. They finance every party that is anti-expropriation of land without compensation. So, well, we worked with the ANC now on this motion, and they chickened out last minute, where they said we can expropriate a rotten land without a compensation. What are we going to do with the rotten land? So as we're moving in the country, consulting our communities, we were with the ANC. Right. When we met the leadership of the ANC, they agreed when we're negotiating for...
Now that you know and you understand why they hate Zuma, as Andile Mngxitama has given us the reasons as to why do these people hate Jacob Zuma. Are you surprised or you not? So if you're surprised, what surprises you about the revelations made by Andile Mngxitama? What surprises you about everything that he said? Tell me what surprises. If you are not surprised, why are you not surprised? Right? Tell me that as well. I'm interested to know. But also, I'm also curious to know this, right? I'm very, very curious to know this. From you, why do you think this same white capital monopoly, they don't have a problem with the current president? Why do you think they don't have a problem with the current one? Don't ask me why. I'm asking you. You must tell me why. Don't bring back the question to me, right? In the conversation below. No. You must tell me why. Why is it that they are comfortable with him? What gives them the comfort? And remember, somebody once said, you shouldn't be speaking the same language with your enemy. For instance, if the enemy says we shouldn't have expropriation of land without compensation, right? And then you come and you speak the same language now and say we shouldn't have the land, the expropriation of land without compensation. There's a problem with either one of you. You cannot have or see things eye to eye with the enemy, right? I don't know. Did I say, look, the current one, he see eye to eye with the enemy? Guys, no. Stop. I didn't say that. I said you can't have the same, you can't see things the same way. So, cela ningangisukeli nithi mina ngithe angishongo mina ukuthi uRamaphosa ubona ngendlela isitha esibona cela ningangisukeli guys, please. Ngiyacela. Something ethile athi mina ngithe. I'm just asking this question. Why do you have ideas that aligns to the enemy? Whoa. You know, I'm reminded of what Msuwa Lekota once said about the man. You know what? Let me see if I can find that video. That video is important. I think if I were to find this video, I will have to insert this video here.
We were invited on a trip of struggle by the preeminent leader of the students of our time, the late Steve Biko, who said to us that we must fight the struggle and said that, and I quote, in case of danger or living conditions that threaten human life, we must accept life for what it is or not at all. It did not take very long, 2 years or so, because that was around 72. In about 1974, we went into detention, among others. And in the course of that, we had to respond to this challenge. And I want to say to you, you invited me last week. We had to respond to that challenge. Your invitation last week was late. The challenge we had to respond to was that time. And you, with us in detention, when it was difficult, you wrote to the special branch that we put communist ideas in your head. In doing so, you condemned us to the special branch. And I say, I say this to you.
Order.
Because the special branch rewarded you as they always reward their victims. And they send you home. And we headed to Robben Island. You should have responded. This invitation that you are issuing on Friday, you should have issued it then. We should have traveled together to the island to serve years for the struggle of our people. I will not join you in the trip that you are suggesting. I will not join you because you made your choice then.
There's a point of order.
Okay? No, it's fine. It's fine. But you get the idea. You get the idea that you cannot see things eye to eye with the enemy. There's always something wrong with you. So, with that being said, let's look in the company. Just generally where you are working. Have you ever seen a person who is not a friend of the supervisors and whatever at work? Have you ever seen a passenger who just comes and do his work but is not a friend of them? Have you ever seen them liking him or recommending him and talking good of him? No. Even though that person is doing well. You have never seen that, right? But usually they recommend the one who's their friend, their imp, right? I didn't say anything. Don't blame me. I didn't say anything. I was just saying that most of the time, wherever I saw a person being loved by white people, usually that person is in bed with those people. And usually he is spying for them. They are benefiting using him. So, they can't understand. Why are they comfortable around him? Do you remember, if I were to remind you, do you remember that they once said they will never have they will never have Deputy President Titi Mabuza as their president? Was it said by Johan Rupert? I think he said so. I think it was Rohan Hubert who said, nope, he will never have Utiti as the president. Do you remember the accident that he suffered under VIP protection? At some point, a VIP protection car rolled on the road, right? That man, Titi Mabuz, go and search it on the internet, it's there. Some point Titi was poisoned. Do you remember that? Do you? You don't. I know you don't. Funny enough, you do. You have forgotten that. Titi was poisoned. By who? Firstly, he was poisoned. Then you hear the words, I will not have him as the president. Who hates Titi? So if they hate Titi, why do they hate Titi? Why? So if they hate Titi, why do they love this one? No, my hands are clean, guys. I didn't say anything. Today I came to distract with a lot of questions with no answer. Please don't say Bongs said this on his channel. Guys, I'm just asking questions. Why do white people love our president? Ugeza phi yena yedwa ukuthi nje athandwe yibo? Ugeza phi la abanye abangagezi khona? If you don't get it, forget about it. I want to leave it here for today. You know what, guys? I'll see you on the next one. But until that next video, good people, please take care.